Both my parents were really involved in the outdoors when I was growing up. They were both paddlers and got me involved in whitewater canoeing when I was really young. I don't really ever remember getting in a boat for the first time, so paddling and being outside has just been a part of my life since I was as long as I can remember. Really kind of found myself when I came to college realizing that this is more of a kind of who I was, I guess. You know, it wasn't something that I just did. It was kind of, I guess, part of my identity to an extent. So this is the current home of the Outdoor Adventure program at Virginia Commonwealth University. I was able to be a part of this program when I was a student here at VCU back in, started in 2000. And pretty quickly, as soon as I came here, I found this as sort of my home on campus. Greg Hawkins was the director at the time, and he took me on and taught me a lot, and really ended up becoming probably my biggest role model as an adult. I had already been paddling for a long time, but I started mountain biking at that time, and me and Greg would ride together, and I rode with some of the other people that worked the outdoor program as well. So that was really when I started riding a lot more, both on the trail and on the road. Eventually, after a long kind of roundabout track, I ended up back here at VCU as now the assistant director for the Outdoor Adventure program. So I now run the outdoor program that Greg was running at the time when I was a student. Past year, I started to focus on some personal goals of mine. I was really fortunate to be able to connect with a really good friend of mine and mentor, Brett Davis. Him and I went to Iceland and did a 3-week bikepacking trip through central Iceland. It was about 550 miles of dirt road and single track. After coming out of Iceland for 3 weeks, turned around and did my first real multi-day bikepacking race on the Trans-North Georgia, which is a 350-mile race across northern Georgia. It climbs almost 70,000 feet over the course of that 350 miles. I was really happy to just even finish that race, let alone have done as well as I did. So again, a really big accomplishment for me to be able to do that. Most recently, I was in Idaho at JP's Backyard Pursuit, which is a fat bike race in the winter in the snow in central Idaho. It's about a 125-mile course. I'd really never done anything like that before. We don't get a lot of snow here in Virginia, and to go out there and race in those conditions and all night long, it took me 26 hours to finish, and I was able to complete a pretty challenging course. It was a cool experience to go out there and get to ride that and try something different that I've never really done before. Growing up in the outdoors, I always envisioned myself living in the mountains and being somewhere that I could get out and do all the things that I enjoy so much. I don't know, maybe three or four years after I left, I started to really realize how great a place Richmond was to be involved in the outdoors and to be involved in the outdoor community. There's a lot of really wonderful people here that support what's happening, and it's all right in our backyard. I live half a block from the trail system and the river. I can ride trail to work every day, and I can go paddling every afternoon if I want. I can go climbing in town, and I'm fortunate to be able to direct this outdoor program in the middle of the city and get other students and people involved in that. I don't know anywhere else like it.
Cheers!